everyone, it's Miranda. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, for the first time, why don't you subscribe, become the newest member of the Slashed Squad. Here I review products you won't feel guilty buying and do looks you can actually recreate at home. Today I'm very excited because we're gonna be testing out a product from a brand that I've never tried before. This is the Karity 21 Shadow Palette in Matte. So if you're on Facebook and you like a bunch of beauty stuff, then you've probably seen Karity around the internet before. They had these Facebook video ads calling themselves like the most highly pigmented shadows that are budget friendly or something like that. But this palette does come with 21 shadows as the name suggests, and it is only $29. Now, first looking at this, you're like, whoa. That's vibrant. It definitely does lean on the bold and bright side, but we do have enough neutrals over here, like a pale pink, some cream, some browns, so that you can get a more subtle look with this as well. It's definitely kind of a covering all your bases type palette, but of course they are all matte. The reason that this palette caught my eye is because of the fact that there is such a great range of colors in this. I feel like I tend to pick up very vibrant palettes, but then they kind of just sit in my drawer because I'm not doing looks with these types of colors all the time. So the fact that this is a little bit more well balanced and you do have more of those neutrals that you can work into and then use the bold shades as a pop of color, I feel like this is a little bit more practical, especially if you are like a one palette type of person where you don't like to really juggle a bunch of products to get one look. So I did swatch all of these shades for you. Clearly I'm not going to be using all of them on my eye today, but I wanted you to see what they looked like. So here I will punch in these swatches. This is row 1, row 2, and row 3. Right off the bat, just feeling with my fingers, these shadows are very smooth. They glide over the skin and they are extremely pigmented. Most of the swatches that you saw were only 2 layers of product. They definitely feel like high-end shadows, just the texture, the pigmentation when swatching, but swatches can only tell you part of the story. So we are going to test this on the eyes for the first time today, and I'm very excited to see how they actually perform the way that they are supposed to be used. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm not really quite sure what kind of look we're gonna be doing today, just kind of winging it. I am gonna be starting with my NYX eyeshadow base in white. Y'all know that I really like using this when I'm working with vibrant shades because it really makes the colors pop. So this eyeshadow base is a little bit on the tacky side, so I do want to set it. Luckily, we do have some neutral shades in this palette I can do that with, so I'm gonna be using Luxuria to set the eyeshadow base. And that will just take away some of that tackiness and make it easier for us to blend later. So I think I definitely want to go for something like bright and fun for summer. I don't do a lot of like super vibrant looks on my channel, so this is, you know, pushing me outside my comfort zone, definitely giving me some inspiration. I think I'm gonna lay down Cancun, which is this beautiful, perfect coral shade, and I'm gonna use that in my transition. So that's gonna be just right above the crease and blend it out. And I'm doing this very lightly just because from swatching I know that these shadows have a lot of color to them, so I don't want this to be super opaque just yet. So I'm really happy that with a light hand I'm able to just get a really soft color and it's blending out really easily, so far so good. Sometimes when shadows are really pigmented, it can be difficult to apply them lightly if you do want kind of a more soft appearance. For example, I have a really hard time with Tarte Amazonian clay eyeshadows to get them to be on the lighter side, so I'm glad that these are a little easier to work with. So next up, I'm gonna go into Lumbia, which is like this hot, hot pink, and I'm gonna throw that in my crease and blend upwards. I'm gonna try to get like a gradient going on and see what we can do. Whew, these are like so pigmented that I'm afraid I'm gonna be putting too much on. Just need to get it on the lid first and then start blending. I'm gonna blend out the edge a little bit with the Cancun shade that we put in the transition, just because I feel like I kind of just went right over it. I don't have a lot of lid space for the look that I imagined in my head. So next I'm gonna go into Ego, which is like this violet purple shade. I'm gonna put that in my crease and outer corner, and I think we're gonna go for a half cut crease look today, so that's my end goal. So I'm just gonna pat this. Ooh, I'm very happy with how that's applying. I'm just gonna pat that in the outer corner first, kind of build up that intensity, although it's not taking much to get a pretty opaque shade even over the colors we already had. And then I'm gonna start sweeping it into my crease a little bit above, just because we are gonna be doing a cut crease. I want it to show after we apply concealer. I'm just kind of laying out the groundwork before I start blending. Now when I blend, I'm gonna be putting more of that Lumbia, which was the hot pink shade, and I'm gonna be using that to blend the purple out, just so that we really don't lose the gradient that we're going for. You know, with all of the layering of shades and blending, I'm pretty happy with how everything is turning out. Like, it's not turning muddy yet. They're pretty easy to work with. So yeah, we are bringing this up to the brow. All right, so we've done a majority of the work for the eyes, but we do still have to cut this crease and add a lid shade. I'm gonna be using the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer to cut my crease. Just gotta be careful because this pump dispenses way too much product for how much you actually need, even like if you're just using it for your face. So again, I am gonna be doing a half cut crease, not a full one. Sort of bring it to about there. Okay, so that's about where we want to be. I would use this concealer so much more for cut creases if it didn't pump out so much, because it pumps out like too much for even using on your face, because it's so full coverage, you just waste product inevitably. But a lot of people say that this is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape because of the coverage and the staying power. If they put this formula in like a container like Shape Tape, oh, it would fly off the shelves. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of pat down the concealer on the lid, make sure none of it falls into the lines of my eye. And now for a lid shade, I think I'm gonna go with Feign, which is this aqua blue right here. I think that's gonna make a big impact. Now this is always where it gets a little bit tricky, trying to blend the lid shade from the concealer to where you just put down that outer corner. So I just start by kind of dusting it right over that line. So I'm just kind of like wiggling the brush with a little bit of product over that line so it's not so much of a contrast. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of the purple on my brush as well and kind of bring that towards the blue a little bit and just blend that together for more of a fade. You can kind of flip your brush back and forth so you don't get more of one color than the other. You guys, I know I keep saying it, but because I don't work with a lot of color, it makes it so much easier when I'm working with shadows that just do what you want them to do, and these colors are acting like you'd want shadows to act. I mean, they're blending really easily. Even where I've blended so much different color together, it's like maintaining its shade. It's not transforming, it doesn't apply differently than it looks in the pan. It just looks right, which I very much appreciate. So we are done with the eyeshadow. Here is where we are at. I am extremely happy with how this turned out. I am like obsessed with this look for sure. So let's finish up the eyes and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the palette. I'm gonna go ahead and tightline my upper waterline using the L'Oreal Long Wear Eye Pencil from the Infallible line. And of course we are lining with the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I am prepping my lashes for falsies using the CoverGirl Flourish by Lash Blast Mascara. I'm gonna be using the Eylure Luxe Opulent Lashes. These are the Mink Effect lashes, and you can see they are super fluttery and luscious. They are so soft. I'm excited to get these on. The lashes do come with their own adhesive, but I'm gonna be using the Duo in the dark glue. This lash is definitely too big on me. I should have snipped it, but it's too late. and it looks great anyway. You know, I can just feel it poking right there, but we're not gonna worry about that for now. Also, what I'm noticing about these lashes, the band seems like it's really good quality, so I'm hoping that I get maybe 2 to 4 uses out of these if I keep the glue neat. Wow, those lashes are freaking amazing. All right, everyone, this is the finished look. I absolutely love how it turned out. Super bright and bold for summer. So this was the first time that I actually put the shadows on my eye. I had swatched prior, and I'm very, very surprised with how well all of the colors translated into actual practice. I feel like they maintained their pigmentation even with all of the blending we were doing, blending out, blending together. That was probably what I was most surprised about. $29, an absolute steal in my opinion after using these. Not only are you getting a good variety and a lot of shadows in one palette, but the quality is there, the texture is there, the pigmentation is there. Now I will say with these being all matte shades, I did expect a little bit of powderiness or maybe a little bit of kickback in here, even with these dark shades, but I hardly experienced any, and I'll go ahead and hold this up so you can see. So here's what the palette looks like. I went pretty hard into this light blue. I was really trying to pick up a lot in my brush. We still only got just a little bit of powderiness, but what I was mostly excited for was we didn't really get any from the dark purple, especially with this hot pink being right next to it. I was a little worried that, you know, some would kind of cross-contaminate, but no, it stayed very, very neat. So basically all I have to say is this is not gonna be the last time you hear of Karity on this channel or on my blog, because I immediately need to try more from them. Have you tried this brand before or any of their products? Let me know in the comments below. I definitely want to take suggestions for what I should try next. If you like how this look turned out, please give the video a thumbs up. It really does make a difference. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, become a member of the Slash Squad. But if you've done that, high five, hit the bell icon so you know every time a new video goes live. If you've done all of those things, then you are just like the best, and I love you. All right, everyone, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.